Ah, hello. Welcome back to Japan. Ah, hello everybody. Welcome back. Hope you're all doing okay. It's me. Hi. Hello Harry. First person through the door. So today's beer, as chosen by the wonderful Lejeune, is Asahi's The Rich. The Rich by Asahi. Because I had a couple of beers and I was considering which one am I going to have as my opening drink for the live stream. So I posted it on Twitter, and Lejeune was the only person I saw who made a positive decision on which one I should drink before I then went on to do a bunch of other things. And I haven't actually checked back on the Twitter. Maybe you guys have been... Maybe there were other suggestions and I've gone against the will of the people. Let's see. Have I betrayed... have I betrayed your wishes? We're going to find out. I'm on Twitter now. Did anyone else say anything? Oh, free notifications. No, it doesn't seem anyone. No one follows me on Twitter. That's kind of fine. I got lots of likes though. Oh no, there were more comments. Oh no, that was a comment by me. There we go. So the justification for my choice is officially in. So all I need now is a glass, and let's pour it. So a little update. I was going to do more work on the song today. We're going to do more work on the song next week. Had a bit of a difficult weekend, bit of a difficult day. So, got finger marks all over this glass. Disgusting. So I will we'll do more on the song next week. If we can think of anything cool that we can do for the song today, we will. It's just that obviously I have to get all the tech set up for that. Like you guys saw last time, it's a bit of a spider's web of... cables and stuff to get that all working, and I just didn't have the opportunity to do that today. I've got some comments coming in. Oh, thank you, Fernando. Fernando was on the comments. Yeah, I just posted the last of the whack videos, which was the WAG one. So yeah, hopefully that one went across well. Do we have any viewers coming in at the moment? It seems that Harry might be the only viewer. We've only got one viewer. This is unusually quiet today. Anyone else there? Anyone else want to give me a shout? Tell me that you're there. Say hello. You can say hello to my desktop if you'd like. Who's on the desktop today? Yay! That's our current desktop girl. She finally made it to number 1 on the list after being so cruelly left out of the automatic changer so many times. So where is everybody? No offense to you, Harry. This is very quiet around here. I wonder if something is wrong with the internet or wrong with me. Whether everyone's just busy. Oh, we have 2 people. Nice. I'm glad that the... viewership is starting. Maybe they're all watching... I just realised it's because I just posted the WAG video. Maybe everyone who's already subscribed to my channel is watching the WAG video instead, and therefore isn't watching this. So, Harry, I haven't been on Twitter today, but I don't drink beers, so I wouldn't have been helping selecting your drink on this. You could just look and tell me which one has the prettiest can. That one's got a pretty can. Drink the one with the pretty can. And I'll go, thank you, I will. I don't know why I'm doing this accent. It just sounded like the right accent to do at the time. It's rich, all right. Oh, rich like a cheesecake. Well, at least it wasn't expensive. I mean, it's got this like aristocratic looking can design, but in actuality, this was 100 yen. It was one of you get a lot of these like 100 yen ones for the 350 mils. And if I'm trying something new, I'll usually dive into one of those. So guys, how did we feel about the WAC weekend? Did we enjoy it? I know that it was all delayed. Usually I post these on schedule, so they come out at specific times, but these were all sort of hand released as they were completed. I just had a lot of delays with doing things, including the thumbnails and everything in the end. So I really hope you guys enjoyed them. Let me know. I just realised I've got the headphones in, but I'm not even listening to anything. Hello, CMC. So, yes, interested. Was there anyone who was new to listening to these WAC songs? What you thought about them? Anyone who maybe has heard them for a while? Anyone who's angry because I didn't listen to the ones that you thought I should listen to? Oh, the desktop just changed. Let's see who is on the desktop now. So Akane has just gone away. And I think I know what it's done. Yep. Hey, you think I'm biased? Got nothing compared to this computer. This computer's obsessed. My word. Obsessive computer. So, yeah. Oh, wow. I just realised I get a weird little graph now when I do my live chats, and it tells me how many viewers I've got, so I can see the line dip when you all leave. Let's have a look at that again. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, so you see, I get this little graph thing now. I didn't notice that before. Oh, wow, there's 4 of you, and now there's 5 of you. Wow, oh, look at that. It says 5 there, but it says 4 here. I love how these stats are always up to date. All right, let's read what everyone is saying. Rameh, hi, just got done watching an over 2-hour live with Unlucky Morpheus talking about their latest release. Pretty cool. I should probably listen to some more Unlucky Morpheus just to annoy CMC. And then want it ready to go. I noticed, I think, you posted in the Discord, you posted Try Everything a bit earlier. That's actually a song that years ago with if you saw last week's live stream, I was showing some old music I worked on back years ago in the younger phase. I did a little duet group with a singer. She's really talented, and we did a cover of that song actually, so that's some good memories for me. But yeah, there's some brilliant stuff I was saying on the second album, there's some great stuff. The closing song on that album, Pub Pusher's got just a brilliant fight. I love the strings at the end of that song, was brilliant. But that's just a great album. Very underrated. And interestingly enough, the band at that time were most popular in America. And that second album didn't get released in America, which is why a lot of people think that the band ended up not going anywhere. Because they had a huge following in America, and the record company didn't release the album there. I don't know if they couldn't get distribution or anything. I never found out a good reason for that, but no, it only came out in the UK where their following was comparatively small. There you go. So yeah, actually that's weird, isn't it? A band breaks the American market and then the record company goes, don't care. No bias, says Harry. Yeah, none. It's not me. I'm not doing it. You saw. It changed like that. CMC, never mind WAC, who released the Puncture Fairy. Yeah, I don't know. I know that was like a classic finish. I know that was like mind-blowingly cool. And yeah, I can't take away anything other than the fact that as cool as it was, it still just came down to us getting the same result we get every weekend anyway. I really wanted Max to win that, but stupid. They pitted him too early. Shouldn't have got the 1 point. They could have got the extra 7. Shame. I would have liked to have seen that go very differently. But yeah, it was kind of cool as a bit of a last minute spectacle, but we still got the same result we get every week. So, hello, Marta saying, good stuff on the WAC weekend so far. Well, that's all 4 of them. I did 4. There was supposed to be 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Instead, it was like 1 on Saturday and then 3 right at the end of Sunday. Well, at least for me. Good afternoon, all, says Little Dave's Dragon. That's a pretty cool username. So, hi, welcome. I must admit, since like I know I keep on talking about restarting the channel, but since we restarted the channel, we don't get as many new people in the live streams. It tends to be mostly the regulars in the live stream, so it's nice to see new people. Hello, welcome to the conversation. Welcome to the chat. I hope that everyone, like I said, I hope everyone had a chance. I know I've just kind of finished the weekend, like really last knocking. Sorry about that. Like I say, all the drama this weekend, but I hope everyone got a chance to see all 4 of those reviews, and especially if you don't know the artist, I'd be really interested to know what you think. If you do know the artist, I want some of your suggestions moving forwards, obviously. I didn't fully watch the WAG video yet. Yeah, sorry, I dropped that like about 5 minutes before I went live. But just so you know, that's their only song. You might be wrong. I seem to remember going on when I got that off of their channel, I think they had 2 songs. I might be wrong. But you might be wrong. One of us is wrong. It's just statistically impossible that we can both be right. I'm willing to take the L if I'm wrong. Fernando, greetings from Montreal. Greetings. Welcome back. I see you just commented on the WAG video, so you've seen the WAG video, so hopefully you've seen all the WAC weekend as well. Hope you enjoyed it, sir. Harry, Scandal is permanently closing their feedback store at the end of this month, but will continue the brand through online sales. I'm not going to say I'm surprised. I know COVID probably had a large part in that. However, it did seem very weird to me that they had a shop in a high rent area like Shibuya. They weren't relying on their brand as in it wasn't actually like a Scandal shop, although I know probably, naming a shop after a abandoned area that expensive would probably be too niche and would probably actually be less successful. But anyway, I was really surprised that they went for that. Nothing about that seemed to be a good business move. So I'm not overly surprised it's closed. Sounds really cruel to say, but I mean, when you're basically just calling it a brand new name, you're basically just going in brand new cold feet into becoming a merchandising shop. From what I heard, it wasn't all like specifically Scandal merchandise. A lot of it was just like stuff that they were putting out. So that I can't say I'm overly surprised. That seems really weird that they had that shop anyway, if I'm honest with you. Interested to know what you guys think. Hello, Moto. WAG is a trainee group for WAC, so it's completely comprised of under 18s who want to join one of the flagship groups eventually. That would explain, like I say, why they weren't affiliated to a record label like all the other ones are, and why they were at the bottom of the list. I probably should have read but I wasn't going to read their profile on the WAC page specifically because I don't pre-research. The only ever perform covers of existing WAC songs. So that's wait a second, no, but that can't be a cover because the song's name actually translates to like The Wonderful World of WAG. So that's got to be a specific WAG song, surely. Maybe you're saying like, so that's their only song that's theirs and all their other songs are covers. I'm assuming that's what you mean. Okay. WAC has at least one original track. Okay, yeah, that kind of follows it. At this rate, WAC has been releasing music videos lately. You could do free WAC weekends. Well, I realised while I was recording this, and you guys probably heard me saying, or if you watched it, you did hear me say it, that just because WAC artists by their nature tend to have a lot of variation, it seemed almost foolish to not listen to these artists again. So whether I just add these artists into our normal regular feed, or whether I probably would be wise to do another WAC weekend actually, because obviously there's only a limited number of different weekends we can do anyway, so maybe next month come back and do another one. And also because I don't want to overly fill our regular playlist with just so many WAC artists that it becomes more like a WAC channel. So maybe I'll come back and maybe do these 3 artists, or maybe change one out for another next week, something like that. Hello everyone, I do hope everyone is well. Post is CMC. Yes, it's nice. CMC as always rallying the troops. Thank you, sir. Ramer, Bratz had a pay-per-view live concert a couple of nights ago. Hinako, the lead guitarist, wasn't there. She announced departure from the band. What? So they did the live show without the guitarist? What, did they use a pre-recording or did someone step in? And that's intriguing, especially in a relatively small band like them. I almost don't want to say it, but I just get the feeling that if they left on bad terms, which it seems a little bit if it suddenly happened before a live show, starting to think whether maybe the lead girl has a bit of a bad relationship with people she works with. Lady baby. Oh no, I'm not saying anything. Lead guitarist syndrome. It could be lead guitar. Sorry. PK, hi, how you doing? Or artistic difference, a penguin enter. Maybe artistic differences. It just seems. I know it's really bad after something weird happens in someone's first band, and then you assume that everything they do afterwards is somewhere related. But you can't help after like all the drama that went around that whole Lady Baby thing. I read a really interesting article about that actually. It just makes you think something very strange is going on with one of those two. The first floor was feedback branded to sell to non-fans, and the second floor was Scandal, says Harry. That's a slightly better business model, but it still has like the worst of two worlds. It's like opening a brand new clothing brand in an expensive area, combined with having a niche fan shop, which usually they just work as. You said that they're going to switch to doing pop-up shops instead. That's kind of more what you do with fan shops. Because I can't see how you can keep regular turnover, and fans buy their merch online anyway. So I like the idea as an ambitious thing, but as a business thing, I never understood why they did that. Since I was first told about that by you guys last year, actually Harry was one who told me, I believe. Hello, Marto. That would be cool to change it up a bit. Referring to the WAC weekend. Sorry, my brain. Yeah. There's also Paradise's sister group, Go to the Beds, which you didn't cover. I remember seeing them on the list as well. The reason I picked the artists I picked was because 3 of them had been specifically requested. And I picked WAG just because I noticed there was something very different about the way that they were being presented in like WAC's roster. Like I said, being put right at the bottom, being put on a channel that was called the WAC channel. I did go back and check that. It was definitely the WAC channel, not the WAG channel. So I was like, something's different about this group. So I thought that'd be an interesting one to bring up for conversation. And turns out they were very interesting. Let's have a look here. So CMC, so feedback, financial, or fedback shop, not successfully. Successful even, they started the brand in 2012, says Harry. I mean, it's impressive to keep it going for 8 years, but retail is difficult. And I think we've known since way before 2012 that even in Japan, where retail is like massively successful compared to the rest of the world, the retail is always getting harder. The internet's taken over. So if you open a shop, you've got to have a really good idea that's going to have longevity. So I hope they did well in the 8 years that they had, though, with that shop. I hope they did well. And, it probably was doing okay until COVID came along. So it's interesting. And Carrie Lou says, I did see the entire WAC roster. I went through the entire WAC roster and looked at all of the artists that were there. I obviously was not going to have time to cover every single artist. So I just covered the ones that were recommended and picked one for personal interest as well. We'll mix it up a little bit next time round. We'll probably do another WAC weekend, the more I think about it. For Bleats, Gang Parade got split into Paradises and Go to the Beds. Anyone know why? Oh, so Gang Parade is still listed on WAC's website, so that's kind of interesting. Was an idea by Rena for the shop. This is Fernando. So that's a question, so I don't know if I can answer that. I'm getting the funny warning things coming up on my stream, by the way, so hopefully you guys can still see me. Tell me if there's any problems with the stream. Hey, what's this? What's the chat about? Japanese music. Okay, what sort of music genre? Really, kind of any genre you want to bring in here. We're open to everything. I think that's one of the things that makes it so interesting is that we share the music with other people. So, for example, we like a lot of the music we review. Like sometimes we'll review like pop or like something heavy or something a bit EDM. And it's interesting to see people listening to and reacting to music they wouldn't usually listen to anyway, but obviously in the context of being Japanese. So it makes for an interesting one. At the moment, we're talking very much about artists who come from the WAC management group, who kind of like do very alternate pop groups. And the reason we're talking about that is because we just done a weekend reviewing bands, artists, groups from that management stable. So that's our current topic for this weekend. Although we'll talk about other things, I'm sure. This is just where we're starting off today. Hello, Marto. They split up because the members thought they were stagnating since they went major. That's interesting for someone under WAC to say that, because you think the WAC's whole thing is keeping their artists on their toes. So, kind of interesting. CMC's got a great point there. We briefly talked about this weird thing that I found out about at the same time that I picked up on Silent Siren, Bang Dream. That name, I will never get okay with that name. Which was like groups who start off as anime but they've actually got a real band behind them, and it's kind of like semi-virtual band things. They got a few artists, like CMC was saying, Rosalia, Reza Sullen, I believe is how we pronounce it, etc. Poppin' Party was one of them as well. So actually, yeah, a weekend of that would be quite interesting. Good point. Alamoto, also Saki, who was with the group from the beginning, left in May. So there's a lot of people just leaving. So people just leaving their groups. It's time to say goodbye in so many groups. I'm interested to see what groups are affected by the whole situation this year, if any groups are breaking up during this period or something like that. I assume this will probably tie a lot of groups together, as maybe their income is reduced and they're forced to focus more on the future. You know, hardship brings people together. For Bleeds, or some people. Cheers for that info. I don't know who that... Oh, that was Te Helamato. Okay. Max, only Japanese musician I know of is Kitaro. Stick around here, a lot of different groups and genres for any place. Howdy, y'all. Oh, hi, again. Cheers, CMC. Yeah, I mean, if you're interested in listening to someone waffle about groups and find new groups, then even since, I'm going to say it again, even since we restarted this channel, we've now got there's like over 100 new videos on this channel, like the ones right down at the beginning of the ones that were reposts from the old channel, but had to be edited, so they weren't quite as good as I wanted them to be. But yeah, you can check out a lot of reviews if you want to find some new music. If you've got a type of music you like, though, seriously, Max, just tell us what sort of music you're into, what other artists, non-Japanese artists you're into, and then maybe we can think of some things that you might enjoy. So let us know, and we can tip you off with some suggestions, perhaps. I don't know if feedback was Rena's idea, says Harry, or not, but I know the concept was for the band, create clothing that appeal to them, as well as create place fans can come together outside of live concerts. Now, this is actually where, on paper, that sounds like a really good idea. Sounds like a really good idea on paper. Partly because I guess if you're going to go into something like doing like a clothing shop, if you're a musician and you're going to go into making a clothing shop, then really you should be designing things that you actually like, because same as when you write music, you should write music that you enjoy rather than because that's the in thing. And then you're more likely to connect to other people, because if it's genuine for you, it's going to be genuine for someone who's got similar tastes. However, that still makes it difficult, because if your background's not in designing clothes like it is in doing music, then you've got to find yourself more up against knowing how to translate. I mean, for example, if I say to someone who's never written a song before, or someone who's maybe just fiddled on the guitar a little bit, they tend to have the most creative ideas. But if I say, write something that you like so it will connect to other people, that's actually the hardest thing to do in music, is to write a song that you're genuinely happy with. You can talk to musicians who are famous who can say, I'm not genuinely happy that any song I've ever written is 100% what I wanted it to be. That's not uncommon. Most musicians will tell you that it's very difficult to write a song that actually translates what you want it to say. So I would imagine going into doing something like clothing is going to be equally difficult. You're not going to have all the tools at your disposal. But more what I would say makes sense is the idea of a place where fans can congregate. But if you wanted to do that scandal, you should have opened a music shop. They are always community centres in any country. Should open a music shop, have a music shop, and have like people perform on a little live stage inside the music shop. This is something that you guys probably remember from our conversations and my conversation with Steve. This is something that we had going in Camden in London when I was back there. And if you run something like that, yeah, then you're gonna get people congregating. And plus you can have like small local artists who'll be there, and it'll be like a really proud thing. Oh, I played at, Scandal's venue, their little live stage thing, whatever. Something like that. Have like a little cafe inside the shop, just for a couple of tables where people can sit down and chat. And, a clothes shop is not really a place where people congregate socially. Unless you're some of my ex-girlfriends, but that's a whole different matter. All right, let's have a look at some of this. So, I'm missing out on some of the chat because I've been talking too much. Max, I just don't know much about Japanese artists. Fair point. This is one of the few places where there is a broad spectrum of artists from indie to heavy metal. Max, yes, I know one Japanese musician. He is a fighter too, Genki Suda, and the band is called World Order. Yes, we covered World Order. But not since the channel restarted. Yes, World Order. They're really interesting. For Bleach saying World Order's videos are great fun to watch. Yeah, I remember James actually checked out some of those as well, didn't he? And he really loved them. Their music's kind of like straight down the middle, but it is good, sort of straight down the middle, dancey pop music, and the video's just elevated to a whole different level. Fernando, I don't think I've ever heard of an artist who has ever happy with what they have produced. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's different levels. You can say, I'm really proud of what I did, or I really like this, but very rarely are you saying something where, yeah, this was exactly what I wanted to say. This was exactly perfectly translating. Music is way too complicated a medium for anyone to be 100% happy. So, yeah, and I guess just artists as a general, kind of like sports people. If you really are passionate about what you do and you're a perfectionist, you should always be striving to make it better. So I guess it will never be perfect in that sense as well. Max, I used to listen to all kinds of music because my life didn't go the way it should have went. I stopped listening to music. Oh, okay. So because of that, you stopped listening to music. So you're kind of really open-minded. Makes it hard to know where to start. If you're really into anything, then I'd say just like dive into the whole channel. I know that feeling though. I mean, I don't know how old you are, but whatever age you are, most people have that phase where something happens, and to varying degrees, it could be something small, it could be something huge, which just kind of knocks everything off of course, and you end up like not keeping up with the things that you really love. The things that bring value to your life, but maybe are not essential for the continuation of life. Those become the things that you drop out of. By the way, thanks everyone for the likes. Please do feel free to keep on pressing the like button if you haven't already, because it is of great value to the matrix of YouTube while we try and get this channel back to... I keep on talking on this live stream about the fact the channel's being restarted, even though it happened months ago. I want to get back over 1,000 so I can start doing mobile streaming and all that stuff. And I miss our community page where I could put that little questionnaire polls and things. And now I can only do it on Twitter, but none of you follow me on Twitter. And I don't blame you because I just post really weird stuff on Twitter. CMC, only true musical genius. Like, I'm not reading the rest of that. Oh, good. It contained a spelling error. That's fine then. I'll be happy. And again, I think it's something like how a lot of actors never watch their own movies. Always something about their performances they hate. Yeah, I think I sympathise with that greatly, actually. But kind of like with the live stream last week, I think there always comes a point where you kind of feel comfortable watching it back in a certain degree of retrospect after a certain degree of time, because you can kind of say, well, I feel like I've grown enough since then that it almost in its own sense becomes excusable. Press like, everyone. Sorry. Oh, God. Hello, Moto. Yes. I'm not reading the rest of that one either. I don't know what to do. I can't review that band anymore because I feel awful. Every time I review that band, I have to talk. I'm honest. We're honest on this channel, and I have to talk about the fact that I don't like them. And it's not fun because the people who click on the link are fans of theirs, and I feel bad because I know I'm just talking to their fans who enjoy their music, and I just want their fans to enjoy their music. I want them to enjoy You're Broken by the Scream. I'm not going to, so it's not worth me whinging. So just stop. CMC, only posterity will show the sheer level of genius they display. Was it really necessary to bring up BBC? Yeah, exactly. Thanks, PK. Hate Twitter, says Fernando. Yeah, to be honest, I'm like the most... I don't actually... I hate Twitter, to be honest. I really don't like it. However, it's kind of... I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was like someone like Ricky Gervais who said it was someone who's kind of maybe it was Stephen Fry, someone who said that basically Twitter is like screaming into the void, because I mean no one actually reads my tweets. I can see the metric for it. I've got like about 98 followers, and I rarely get anyone press like on any of them. So I know that I'm not really talking to anyone, but it's just kind of nice for me to scream into the void. That's really what I'm doing. Yes, Po. Thanks, CMC. You could just go with Po. That's kind of a positive answer in of itself. Sven, hello. Hey, Sven, how you doing, mate? How are you doing, sir? Hello. Indecisive on the beers, I see. Oi, I follow you on Twitter. I just never post anything. Yeah, I only noticed recently that you follow me on Twitter. Actually, it took me. There's actually one of the other guys. NASCAR follows me as well on here, as in the follower, not the racing league. He follows me as well on there, but I don't think he's usually awake when we do the live stream, so we don't see him much in here, only occasionally. And Sven, and like, so there's about 4 people from the regulars who follow me on Twitter. I don't blame you if you don't. Do you think King Gnu weekend is a good idea? Maybe. I've heard that King Gnu are ridiculously aggressive with the copyright striking. I had a little look. Now, obviously, our whole system is set up to avoid copyright strikes now. However, if a group is known to be particularly aggressive, I don't want them, because obviously our system is not illegal, but it's a little bit of, reading between the lines of the rules. I don't want some malicious group following us back. That's why I'll still never touch the band who we shall not speak of. Never again. That's not Broken by the Scream. Broken by the Scream, I've got nothing against them. Seem lovely people, but the band who we shall not speak of. I can give you access to the Scandal fan channel to post on that community page. I've only used it twice, and both times about your channel. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I actually, Harry, because obviously we have found out a lot of Scandal fans are long-time fans, and a lot of them are not into watching the sort of videos that we do, because I think they expect it to be like the standard reaction video where someone goes, "Oh my god, this is amazing, this is the best thing I've ever heard, mind blown." Yeah, we don't do that, and so I think that's why they don't even click on the videos. So as a result, Harry is pretty much, I think the work Harry's done, not just Harry, but primarily Harry when it comes to Scandal, has pretty much been the only way we've gone from no one watching our Scandal videos, which we had before, which was really weird, up until now, where we get a decent number of views when we post a Scandal video, which is nice. I should do some more Scandal as well, actually, because Scandal weekend was a couple ago, wasn't it? So maybe King Gnu. Don't know for certain though. Twitter is a step too far, says CMC. Yeah, I'm with you on that, to be honest. Like I say, just for me, it's screaming into the void. I think that's a really good description. Sven, I'm reading Howard's tweets. Yeah, Sven knows all about me and my dead moth. Harry, I follow you on Twitter and occasionally actually retweet you. Yes, actually, I noticed Harry retweeted some of mine. That's much appreciated. Max, do you understand Japanese language? In probably when it comes to the written language, I'm actually okay. Not great. I suffer a bit of kanji, and I've been working a lot on that, but I'm okay with the written language. And hiragana, katakana, I'm fine. When it comes to the spoken language, the problem I have is so long as someone's speaking at a fairly normal rate, I can pretty much get 90% of what they're saying, 85, 90. But then when it comes to replying, it's like, like a bar appears on my head, like reply loading, and usually the conversation's moved on. I'm like, reply ready. As everyone's gone home. So yeah, I am a philistine for how bad my Japanese is, considering how long I've been here. I'm not CMC. You're just writing comments knowing that I'm not going to read them out, man. Sven, King Gnu is of course part of Sony. Well, King Gnu is currently Sony's little golden child, isn't it? So this is probably why they're going absolutely ape about being ultra Sony in their defense of King Gnu. So I know that if I do King Gnu, I'm going to get like a few thousand views, but maybe some extra subscribers if I do a positive review. Like I say, I'm always honest. But I just... I want the stats to go up on the channel like they were before. I know we can't go back to doing Baby Metal and Band Maid because we've already done all of their songs. So I'm just reclined to the slow haul, and I think trying to jump ahead with King Gnu could be risky for the channel. I'm thinking about it though. I do actually really want to listen to them. I do, because I got so much hype. One of my ex-girlfriends from years ago. She's got fantastic taste in music, and she says they're really good. So I'm kind of tempted. And someone I know uploaded a video with clips from the bands who must not be named, and I warned them based on your experiences to expect a strike. Yeah, not just a strike, a personal strike from the band. Dicks. Sorry, language. CMC, being serious, the Peggy's week. Yeah, that's a good one. I found that Peggy's videos are really hard to get hold of. You might have noticed I've used a slightly different technique for Whack Weekend, the last 3 at least. I've been doing them directly off of YouTube now. I'm not obtaining the videos anymore, just to see how that would work, and it seems to be okay. Just have to make sure not to put anything embarrassing on the screen. But yeah, I really want to cover more of the Peggies. Actually, the main one is the Wisely Brothers weekend. That's one that I really do need to do, because I'm way behind on that. Winking Owl that video was supposed to be dropped last week, but didn't get around to doing that one. It's recorded, it's just that's not coming out. So just actually for CMC, to stop you bleating, Winking Out, that reaction, the first reaction of Winking Out is done. Wisely Brothers, a weekend of that is what I'm going to do, because I've got like those reactions, like I've got like 5 of them. And, you know, might as well put them out together. And Peggy's weekend's actually a really good idea, because I really want to catch up on the Peggies, but they don't get enough views on their own, so maybe a whole weekend would be a good way of doing it. And RIP Howard's Moth. I know. Although I since found out that actually around now is the time that it should have died naturally anyway, just because this time of year apparently is when that type of moth dies. So I thought that it was, I didn't manage to save the poor thing from all of the murderous things that had happened to it when I tried to pick it up. But no, it turns out that it was actually it was probably around its time to die anyway. The Bond weekend, I really need to catch up on some of the Scandal things I have to do anyway. But maybe I still don't feel I've got enough Scandal to do it in context. I'm still, I need to get around to doing the track by tracks, don't I? I haven't restarted doing the track by tracks yet. It's been a few months. Okay, yeah, I need to think about that. Rest in peace, poor moth. Gone too soon. Peace. Yeah. It's really cute though. It's just a little picture. It's such a cute little moth. I know it's really weird. Every time I say moths are cute, I think that reminds me of that scene in Silence of the Lambs when she walks into the house, and it just sort of pans from her across, and you just see he's got all the moths collected on the wall, and it pans back to her. And I always think anyone who likes moths is probably that guy from Silence of the Lambs. However, press like, everyone. This is great content. However, yeah. I think they're cute. I'm weird, I know. I had another ex-girlfriend. Sorry, I keep on talking about ex-girlfriends. I like Japanese people, what can I say? I had another ex-girlfriend who was terrified of moths. Terrified. Butterflies, moths, hated them. It turns out she hated caterpillars as well. And she was like, oh, flying caterpillar. Yeah, technically accurate, but still, weird thing to be scared of. Let's have a look here. Max, yeah, I'm the same way. What's that reaction to? That's in reaction to something I've said probably, but I can't remember what it is because I'm too far behind. I think December versus Japan had issues with King Gnu. Is that Deck versus? I don't know who that is. Had issues with King Gnu reviews. Yeah, I've heard that it's widespread. If you even put their name into one of your videos, what I'm worried about is if they personally check. Because if they personally check, they might try to undermine the system that we use. If it's a sweep check from a computer, that's fine, because obviously it's not going to affect us. Like I say, we're not technically doing anything wrong. However, I know it's the sort of thing where someone look at it and go, yeah, you're just bucking the system, and we'll probably get some kind of crap for it. Did you do the Baby Metal remixes? The Night of 15 mix of Headbanger is quite different. It's like a remix CD. Or album, I guess you say now. If so, that's worth checking out. Peggy's Weekend, yes, says Fernando. Well, that's a good one. MTH, no strikes for foreign views, it seems. Oh, yeah, no, they just hate people from their own country. Oh, sorry, I'm not from here. Yeah, I know. But, yeah, you're in Japan. It's probably because they're the only people left who buy your fucking records. Sorry. I don't take it personally. I don't take it... I saw the teaser for new Silent Siren MV. Yeah, I saw that as well. Do you remember when I did the review, the reaction to the hero teaser for Silent Siren? It turned out there was just like nothing in it, and then I was like, okay, yeah, this was a bad idea. And I came back and reviewed the song and actually really loved it. Hero's a great song. But anyway, I'm looking forward to the new Silent Siren. Last MV of Silent Siren had a really nice look. Hero I really liked. Wow I really liked. The one after that, like I say, just kind of felt a bit cheap, low imagination. Just felt like really, like the video was really phoned in my opinion. And the song was good, but it didn't give me any wow. Yeah, I was the one with the what's her name? Amy from Poppin' Party. It's a funny thing that I never remember names, but I remember her name because I remember the two kanji. I was so proud that I translated it. That way, I was surprised. I was expecting something to work, but I'm glad that they tried what they tried. It was brave. It was good to them to do something a little bit heavier. It just didn't feel like it was. It just felt kind of like album track. It didn't feel like it deserved to be a single in my humble of opinions. Max, there are so many artists and singers these days. I hardly know where to start, and I don't see the many bands these days. Or have I become a badass hermit? I'm sure people have probably replied a lot since then. There are a lot of bands out there, but there's an oversaturation. As a result, it tends to be quite hard to find bands. I mean, I'm finding so many bands who I hadn't even heard of through you guys' recommendations. Not from me. I mean, like I said, I worked in the Japanese music industry, and you're showing me bands I never heard of, or bands who sometimes I have heard of, but I just didn't have time to listen to because there were so many other things to listen to. So, yeah, there is a lot out there that you can come across. So it's not weird that you haven't found these things. But that's one of the main things I want to do with this channel is get people hearing music and artists that otherwise they wouldn't do. So that's another reason why we go for a lot of those smaller artists who don't get the clicks, don't get the views, but bring the community together. And I think that's one of the reasons I don't want to sound like I'm just sort of blowing up our own channel, but I do genuinely think that this channel has a much better and more interesting community than most others do, because of the fact that we're not just going for clickbait. Do you have a favourite genre, says CMC? We're all hermits these days, it's 4 bleeds. I hope you make soon a track-by-track review of the second EP. Yeah, I know, I've got to do that as well. The second Silent Siren album. Max. Well, I used to listen to 70s rock, reggae, 80s, 90s, fresh, speed, death metal, new metal, trance, drum and bass, guitar players, hip-hop, rap. Yes, basically just all music. If you like rock and reggae, Orescar Band would be a great one. Check out Orescar Band. Free Now by Orescar Band. That's ORESKABAND. Orescar Band. Free Now. Check that out. I really like that. It's one of the reggae. Well, it's not ska, isn't it? But it's one of the ska songs I come back to most. Final thoughts on Best Scandal and K. Yeah, I know. That's another one. That was supposed to be on Scandal Weekend, but just didn't have time. Trying to converse in Japanese, says Aldo. Trying is what we're trying to do. Yeah, guys, I know there's a lot of videos are coming up. I mean, a lot of these might be resolved. You guys had agreed a few weeks ago when we had a discussion about this that I'm going to take a week off at some point this month to finish the Korea video. And if that goes quickly and well, because obviously I've been working on a lot of it for the last year or so, then I might be able to get ahead and finish some of these other things and maybe post them during that week while I'm working on the Korea video. So some of the stuff that's been left over might get done in that time. Hello. Oh, I already read your comment. Thanks for I am happy. Thanks, I am happy I'm not alone. Says, yeah, I think there's a similar thing. A lot of people... Actually, CMC just made a good point. 70s rock, try Glim Spanky. Yeah. And he said a Rescar Band as well. Thrash Speed Guitars, D-Drive. And of course, Bandmade. I think Bandmade are just, if you like rock, I think they're universally worth listening to anyway. Scandal, I think, a bit of an acquired taste, pop rocky, but I think they're one of those groups who, like most Scandal fans, if you get into them, you'll just have a cornucopia of stuff to listen to, like a limitless supply. If you like trance, check out the group Migma Shelter, says Hello Mo. For new metal, try Lady Baby. Not all of Lady Baby, but some of Lady Baby. What was there's the one that they really well constructed, Hattony something. Yeah, I thought that was a brilliant example of the sort of kawaii metal meets new metal thing. That was a really well done one. Max, thanks. I'll check them out. Big Michelle, that is. Have you done a review reaction to Guitar Ray? All right, Aldo, let's get into this. Guitar Ray, yeah, I did one reaction. I first heard her quite a few years ago, pretty much when she came out, when she had her first record, and I bought it and I loved it. And I did a reaction to one of her songs, and I really loved that as well. One of the most recent ones, I can't remember what it's called, the one where she's in the elevator for most of it. Didn't get a similar amount of enthusiasm from the rest of the people's, so that was kind of the last one I did, and I kind of kept Guitar Ray just more for my personal interest. I really like her. I'm really taken by her playing style. I love her playing style, her writing style. Just the whole way she comes across. I think the fact that she's got that she was raised outside of Japan, but that she is Japanese at heart in so many ways, it really comes across as a very interesting meld of things. She does a very Western style of rock, but with a very Japanese tinge to it. I'm not surprised that she's always doing like presentations and being invited to perform at I think like TED Talks and stuff like that as well. She is really fantastically interesting artist. Fernando, Howard, 90% of the music I listen to these days were bad to introduce. Yeah, I remember when you first started following, I think I was costing you a lot of money, I seem to remember, because you were buying so many records off of recommendation. But yeah, same for me too, actually. Vicariously, you're picking it up off of me, but I'm picking it up off all the wonderful people in this community are suggesting these songs, and it's costing me money, guys. It's costing me money too. So Max is glad you're here too, Max. Do a live stream often. Try to live stream every week if possible. But the Discord, someone give them the Discord link, because Discord is where you can be talking to us about music all the time. And yeah, these guys are amazing. They find links for stuff like instantly. It comes out, bam, there'll be someone who'll be putting a link to something. So definitely get on the Discord. If you want to be doing chat all the time, get on the Discord. CMC, also Sokoninaru. Yeah, they're really interesting if you're into sort of crazy, messed up sound. Well, not messed up sound, but really sort of experimental, but in a sort of essentially pop rock framework. Gakrick Spin, again, yeah, another one crazy one. Elephant Gym, I haven't checked out Elephant Gym. Empty, we don't talk about that band, CMC. Once a week usually, we'll drop a Discord link. Thanks, man. Cool. Elephant Gym isn't Japanese. That's probably why I haven't done Elephant Gym. No, they are not. However, they are awesome. That's a pretty good reply. All right, I'm up to date with the comments. Yes. So, by the way, if you haven't pressed like yet, but you've been watching this video for more than like 5 minutes, then that means that you're getting something out of it. Please press like. It's just, I hate to be like that. Just, we need every last stat we can get just to keep this thing on the rise. All right, guys. So, let me just quickly check. How long have we been streaming for now? We've been talking for a little while. 47 minutes. Wow, look at that. Coming up on an hour so quickly. We'll keep on going. There's a fair number of people in here and seems to be a good amount of conversation. So let's have a look at some of the things. Aldo, I found Ray's music by accident at Tower Records. That's exactly what happened to me. I found it by accident in Tower Records. I just picked it up and it was the biggest CD of all of them, because hers didn't come in a normal CD case. It was just this big red thing with a face on it. I was like, I've got to listen to this. So I put it into the Tower Records in Shapiro. I put it into the scan thing. Put on the headphones, listen to it. I was like, this is awesome. So I just, after like listening to 2 tracks, I was like, I'm buying this. CD listening station. She's very fantastic. Saw her live twice. Wow. When I went to Japan and saw her at SXSW in Texas. I'm from Texas. I would explain why Texas. Yeah, well, I mean, obviously she's got a lot of American in her background as well, so I'm glad that she managed to go there. Thank you, Harry, also for the Discord link, CMC for the Reddit link. Reddit is, if you're going to suggest songs, do it on the Reddit. I was thinking I might do something to do with the World Tour Wednesdays on the Reddit as well. So Max, if you know any non-Japanese music, World Tour Wednesdays is the feature where every Wednesday we've gone back to this now, where we'll be covering music from other countries to give a bit of contrast to the channel as well. So if you've got anything you want to suggest outside of Japan, that's a good one. I prefer Jayokot or Tricot to Elephant Gym. Yeah, I need to check out more Tricot now that we've got over that whole copyright order. You did Elephant Gym on World Tour Wednesday. Did I? You have to remind me which one Elephant Gym was then. clearly did not stick with me as well as it should have done. Slightly delayed getting Discord link as work is interfering with socializing. Yeah, work gets in the way, man. Work gets in the way. Just quit. Just quit so you can watch live streams. Max, are you drinking beer or apple juice? Beer, man. I always like to bring my choice of beer. This one was elected on Twitter by our very own Lejean. I put up a Twitter post. I was like, which beer should I drink? I like to bring an interesting drink to each sessions. Born and raised in England. What can you... Actually, here's a point, Max. Where are you from? Let us know. The band that Howard reviewed, though, Sweet John, that band is pretty good Taiwanese stuff. Yeah, I enjoyed them. Way too much delay in this conversation. Yeah, man, I'm trying to keep up. Okay, I'm trying to keep up. Triquot Polka Dot Stingray always seems dry to me. Technically excellent, musical, sterile. The first Triquot song, I was really taken by them, but I can see perhaps how they might be seen as kind of sterile. I would have to listen to more to get a feeling. Polka Dot Stingray, their videos added a sense of fun to it, but I guess if you take the video away, I can maybe even see that too. I have to listen to more of them. They're both artists who I stopped listening to just because the copyright stuff was insane. Remet, Fruit Pusher is Lady Baby-esque. Interesting. Two young ladies up front without the screaming. Interesting. Sometimes with a metal backing track, sometimes... Oh, 1 second. Last night without, they have a live stream. So my desktop changer has changed again. Do you want to know who's on the desktop changer now? It is... Every 15 minutes it changes for anyone who's new. It is the Peggies. Yes, the Peggies are here. Hi. So, yeah, the Peggies is going to be on my desktop for the next 15 minutes. Technically, even. That's right, I got that. Polka Dot Stingray get away with playing the same song over and over again. That's interesting. I've only reviewed 2 of their songs. I will have to... That's interesting. Are they one of those groups, you think? A bit of an MOR, middle of the road climb? Max, thanks, host. Polka Dot Stingray, most of the times something is missing in the song. I have to hear or more to or more to. Okay, I get the point anyway. Yeah, I know Polka Dot Stingray are one of those groups who are very popular right now, seemingly. I wasn't massively drawn into what I heard, but it was good. Fernando's suggesting a Vivid Undress weekend. I think I might check out one more song. They're really popular as well. I might check out one more song by them before I do. I think anything that yields a weekend, unless there's particularly special circumstances around it, like the Wisely Brothers one, which was delayed so much, and the fact that was based around basically listening to an EP anyway. I want to be sure before I do a weekend of an artist that I really have an angle on them first of all. So I might do another Vivid Undress review before I jump in with that. Max, I'm from Nepal, but half of my life has been outside Nepal. Back here again. Don't know where I'll go next. Hopefully west of the globe. So where were you? If you're outside Nepal, where did you go? Let me know. Japan, I'm guessing. Interested. Yay, the Peggies! Paul says CMC. Wow, seems you truly fixed your desktop bias at least this week. Yeah, like the first couple of weeks I did this, it just went one artist back, one artist back. I don't know what I did that changed it, but I noticed, like, I think it might be when you select the pictures, if you press one and then wait a couple of seconds before you press the next and select them very slowly, it seems to have a positive bias. So I think if you select them too quickly, somehow it doesn't log them in the algorithm, so it knows they're all loaded, but they're not listed. This is way too boring to be talking about on live stream, but yeah, I think that's the reason, because it seems to have worked the last few weeks. Radwimp's reaction. I'm not a big fan of Radwimps. It's not like I don't dislike them, but I might listen to another one. They're certainly not getting a weekend unless they wow me massively, because I wouldn't have enough to say for a weekend. But I might jump into it. I can't do the most famous songs. Obviously, I heard that when it came out, as did everyone. You reviewed the song "Goodbye" by Toe. Yeah, more Toe. Okay, I get what you actually meant now. And Aldius Weekend, of course. Yeah, actually, that's an interesting one. I might clock in an Aldius Weekend. Yeah, Toe's one of those names of a band that you kind of just lose it because it's the word toe. it doesn't stick with you as much as it should. This weekend might be a good one to do, actually. I'll think about that. Although, speaking of drinks, there's a store in my neighborhood that sells Japanese drinks. They have Fanta Melon Soda. It's impossible to find it here, Texas. One bottle is $30. Dear God. I think, I mean, that's James's area of expertise on the back of binge. I was really happy that he jumped in on World Tour Wednesday. I wasn't expecting that till Wednesday. He just suddenly went, hey, I can do World Tour Wednesday for back of binge as well. I was like, that's really weird. Let's do it. And yeah, that was really cool, actually. Max, some years in Thailand, some in Australia, here and there, west of the globe remains. Yeah, I mean, I've done a huge amount of traveling as well, to be honest. And it's something that you never regret having done. I don't know anyone who's done lots of traveling who regretted having done that. It's a good thing to do. So traveling is certainly it broadens the horizon, widens the mind. So. Thailand was interesting. Bangkok was a really interesting place. I enjoyed that. Great little food places. One of the videos I played from last week was actually I shot the video while I was in Thailand. It was quite an interesting memory, and I used sounds from around that part of Bangkok when I did it. But yeah, that was a really interesting one. I found some places in Thailand I really liked, and some places in Thailand didn't click with me. I'm trying to remember, we went to a city that was just south of Bangkok, but not down the western leg where most people go, down the eastern leg, and I can't remember what it was called, but I thought it was going to be really nice, and it turned out to be pretty disappointing, and it was full of retired Russian people, and it didn't feel like Thailand at all. It felt just like one of those resort towns. It wasn't particularly nice. But then there was a small island just off of there, and we went to the island, and the island was fantastic. It was like, this is weird. Sven, what do you think about Kenshi Yonezu? I think that his fans seem to don't like when I give him reviews, even though they're positive. I quite like Kenshi Yonezu. I know he did that thing recently. He's just done a CM song, which has some really overly CG'd video or something. And I was hearing a lot about actually that he started working... first of all, I think was it Kenshi Yonezu who started working by programming for Miku, the Vocaloid singer. But anyway, yeah, he I got nothing against him. He's kind of cool. Not massively my thing, but yeah, enjoyable. I like him. I found Sapporo beer in a German supermarket. Sapporo, did you find the silver can, I'm guessing? Because the silver can seems to be one that they export a lot. Apparently, Sapporo has a brewery in Canada. Didn't know that. But there you go. Yeah, Sapporo's my favourite one. The exported one is a bit different, but it's still really good. And it's way too expensive. Motto, come to Canada, he says to Max. We have Sapporo beer here in Montreal. Yeah, Fernando's backing up. Aldo, we have Asahi, Kirin, and Sapporo beer here. Surprised you have Kirin. Kirin doesn't export so much. I'm surprised. They should do, because they definitely should. They have the quality for it. Again, I think they brew Asahi or Sapporo in Canada or North America. Asahi has breweries everywhere. Sapporo does have a brewery in Canada. I don't know where, but they do have one in Canada. Hello, Sapporo bought out Sleeman, and now they have a giant brewery near where I live. Wow. Apparently, Asahi, I can't remember who was telling me this, someone on Discord. Asahi bought out, was it in the comments? They bought out London Pride, the people who make London Pride, which is my favourite of the British ales. So I was kind of happy with that. Sapporo, my favourite brewer, buying out my favourite British ale. Trusted hands. If Budweiser had bought it out, I would have probably blown up the building. Just being honest with you there. You know, guys, I'm feeling good having found this chat. I used to be a vocalist in a metal band covering other metal band songs. Have been long stopped listening to music. I think I'm back. Max, it's good to have you back, sir. And that's kind of what I want this channel to be. If you're someone who's regularly into music, I want it to give you more music to listen to. If you're someone who's just struggling to get the music that you want, I want this to be a great place you can pick things up. So that's awesome to hear, man. And if you like doing metal singing, if you ever feel like getting back into it, you just want to sort of hook up with any sort of musicians who are just making up songs and things, let me know. I'm always happy if there's musicians who want to be hooked up with a project, then I can probably find someone for you to work with. Just sort of a casual, for the fun of it sort of thing. So, Never a bad thing. Aldo, soda though. Big difference. I would love to, Aldo. You probably went to Hua Hin. That was something that yeah. Do you watch Music Station? Host. Oh, okay. Harry made a good point. By the way, how is Bubbles doing? His insanity is missed in chat and on Discord. Hope he's doing well. He's getting there. I haven't spoken to him the last couple of weeks. Sometimes he's going through a lot of stuff, and sometimes he needs to have time to deal with it. And sometimes if I'm busy as well, then we just kind of accept that we don't speak for a little period. Nothing negative about that at all. It's just because obviously, when people are under a lot of pressure, you don't want to wind each other up. And he likes to be positive. He likes to be sort of bouncy, fun, have a bit of a crazy personality. And so I don't think he likes to project negativity. But yeah, I think most people who've been here a while know he's going through a fair amount. He will be back. I promise you, in some context, he'll be back. That boy never gives up. But this happened before. He was on a lot of stuff recently, a few months ago. Actually, ironically, just before the channel restarted again. So he's not really been present on the new channel. But yeah, look, Bubbles will definitely be back in his own way, in his own time. But, as I always say to him, when you need your space, you need your space. No pressure. He was in the middle of working on a fairly big project with me, which got delayed as a result. But that's fine. I'd much rather finish the project with him than without him. And of course, he's in the Korea video. He's actually, I don't know how many of you guys know. He's very central to the Korea video. He's a very big part of the Korea video, even though he wasn't in Korea when it happened. Let's have a look here. Kirin Brew in Bedford, UK. Really? Well, I think I heard something. I think I heard there was a Japanese brewery in Bedford, but I didn't know it was Kirin. Did I? Maybe it's just ringing a bell. Maybe I'm getting deja vu, but I don't remember. Cool. And just remember, as all my glasses say when I buy them from the 100 yen shop, G-Life. I leave those stickers on just because I love it so much. I don't know what they actually meant by that. Maybe they are just like really into West Coast rap. But, when you buy a 100 yen glass and it's got a label saying G-Life on it, you can't remove that. Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. I'm not singing the next line. Just pouring my bit. I'm pouring it straight. I've got the cheapie now. The wonderfully named Bar Real. This stuff is great, actually. This is so cheap, but it's really, really good. So basically, the first drink I have for a live stream or night is a special one, so I can enjoy the taste. And then I just go to something of a nice normal banker, a good, reliable, cheap beer. That Asahi Rich, interesting. Tasted a little bit pale, like a bit of a pale lager. I know it's like one of the hoppy lagers. It's supposed to be one of the 6% of hoppy lagers. Can't really say I'm massively into it, but it's got one of those flavours that's distinctive enough that I'm pretty sure that if it's your thing, you'll be mad for it. Let's see what everyone's saying. Max, sorry, I mistook Aldo for yeah, they got a similar sort of colour of icon. Don't get confused with Sven as well, okay? They've all got the light icons. I'd love to come to Canada. Yeah. Ah, man, I was Canada. Okay, so it was mentioned to me. Apologies. I'm not going to mention who mentioned it because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to. They'll tell me if I am. But it was mentioned to me that there was a thing by which there's a competition. Some of you probably noticed about this, to basically be involved in a TV show involving Bish, but it'll be done remotely. I was given the link to apply for that, and I did apply for it. So I'm waiting for a reply. Maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't. But yeah, maybe with a bit of luck, I might appear on Japanese TV doing a video message thing for Bish. I'm looking forward to seeing if that happens. That'd be funny as hell. Let's have a look here. Aldo, hey, I have that Bish poster, Momoko. I have 3 of them. Momoko, Uni, and Chiki and Yuna from my landscape costume. Do you know what? They got hashtag no bias. They got a few Momoko posters where I got that one from. Actually, like the week after I got that, I went back to the same shop and I had one that I actually liked even more. It was nice. It was a nice poster. But I didn't have the money at the time and it was much more priced up, which I think was because it was a really nice one. But this poster's really cool, actually. I really like this one. Although she does properly look like she's going to kill someone. But that was a nice one. And I needed something Bish related, and all of the group ones were like super expensive. I was like, I'm not dishing out for that. So I was like, well, if I have to get one member, I have to be biased. But I'm not naturally biased, so what will I do? Just a lottery choice, just randomly picked that one. All right, so do you think about continuing the live week, month, or year? Maybe. I'm wondering in what context to do live stuff again. Live week was fun. I think, to be honest, the thing I liked most about live week was doing it with Bubbles. I don't think I'd want to do it without Bubbles. Maybe when Bubbles comes back, we will do it, but I don't really want to do it without Bubbles, if I'm honest with you, because the ones I enjoyed most from that were the ones I did with him. Because in a way, a lot of the songs were songs I'd heard before, and yes, I did have some things to say about it, but I didn't feel I quite got enough out of most of them. Having Bubbles there added a whole different dimension to it. So, when Bubbles comes back, I might. I don't think I would do it without him, though, to be honest. Just my opinion. Tell me what you think, but I do think that Bubbles really made that special. CMC, Ainyan rolling with her Jeep, the Howard TMG wagon for life. Yeah, actually, that little cardboard box Jeep she had looked a little bit G-life, didn't it? Just imagine doing like the traditional driving gangster pose. Oh, they drive in this, I don't know. So like, I can't imagine Ainyan doing that. I think she's the one member of Silent Siren who could pull that off. Sven, pop. Gracias. Harry, well, when next time you do speak with him, let him know we're thinking of him and wish him well for me. I will do. Yeah, pass on Bubbles, my best wishes too, please, to CMC. I will. He's, like I say, he's he comes across as I think his deliberate persona is to come across as a dipshit. But he is genuinely one of the most honest, kind, and strong people who I know. And I know he will get through everything. He just has to put things together. So just, like I say, he will be back, and I'll pass on your best wishes. But don't worry too much about him. He'll always find his way through. That's just the kind of guy he is. So... and I'll make sure if he needs anything that I'll be as available as I can be from the other side of the planet. Aldo, that would be cool. Momo love. Don't know what you're talking about. There's no bias on this channel. Hashtag no bias. Cool. Sven, do you have found your scandal bias after the scandal weekend? Uni love. This is the interesting one. Okay, so I was thinking about that during Scandal Weekend. It's like, do I have a scandal bias? No. I don't think I do. I like Rena in principle. I have a bit of a Rena, but not really enough for it to be comical. I don't think I have a scandal bias. So yes, I tried my best to be biased. I take no bias. But, yeah, I didn't pick up a bias. What can I say? Yeah, I just, as a group, they seem to work as well as a group. I think maybe after I've heard the rap thing, that might throw me a bias, but I don't know yet. Although thoughts on the new Necronom, I always can't say their name. Necronom Idol. It's because it doesn't do it's weird how that works. Necronom Idol lineup. Have you heard the new Necronom? Well, I've only heard one song by them, so I can't really comment on that. But anyone else, feel free to jump in with that. Simsy, well, if a studio recording is a definitive version approved by the band label, etc., then an official live version approved by the band label, etc., would be a definitive version. No. I'll explain why no. Um, Look, if you have a remix, well, maybe it's possible it could be. It's possible it could be. I can give an example where it would work. If you have a remix of a song, yes, that's an entirely different creative take. If you have a live version, now let's say, okay, first I'm going to draw the normal circumstances under which a official live version is sanctioned or approved. It usually just means the band wants to have a live version of the song, so that because nowadays especially live is where you get your money from. So this is why they get so many live music videos now from bands who have the money to do a music video, but they do a live music video because they want to focus people on thinking about, let's go see this band live. So a lot of the time a live version is sanctioned or approved simply just so let's get the best version of this song. And this one sounds good live, let's get that and let's put that as an official video or an official version. Not because it's genuinely something that elevates the song in a creative or a writing sense, just because they know that people like live versions. So coming back to my issue, that would I have something extra to say about this song if I reviewed it a second time as a live version? A lot of the time, no. A lot of the time, that still wouldn't be enough. There are some exceptions. There are some songs where a band manages to do a version that would only work live. I mentioned before about the fact that when I grew up, one of the bands I really liked was Everclear. And their most famous song was a very sort of stripped back basic song called Santa Monica. And I was kind of always semi-cool with that. But they did a very different version, which was recorded and put as a B-side, which was from Woodstock 99, actually. And the song, it's the same song, but it's totally different. There's a keyboard added that adds this sort of extra layer to it. It has this thing where it sort of rollingly builds up speed. It has this whole guitar section that wasn't in the original. It has an ending that is like 10 times more bombastic because it's led up to. And it's a reinvention of the song that might as well be a remix, if it were open to that style of music. I think that's the thing. If the version of the song is genuinely like a rewrite, if it's a rewrite in the same sense that a remix would be a reproduction, then yes, I can go with that. But if it's just, hey, we play it live, and when we play it live, we play it more expressively, or maybe we put in a little solo, that's not going to do it for me. It's got to be a genuine rewrite that is contextually necessitates that it be live. Like I say, if you do want to see what I mean by that, I would recommend, it's not everyone's type of music, I totally understand that. I would recommend check out Everclear by Santa Monica and then check out the Woodstock version of that. That is when I can say, all right, yeah, now you've got justification for asking me to listen to that live version as a separate product. I think that's a good example. So if you want to know my threshold for what that is, listen to those two. I think most of the versions, and I say this with the greatest possible respect, because I know these come from fans who just want me to see the most expression from the band. Most of the versions I'm given of these songs, I would say I've heard some which have been brilliant rewrites. I would say 8 or 9 times out of 10, it's just kind of been like the song live, and it leaves me really struggling to think what I'm going to say. I mean, it's not that I don't like it. I can look at it and go, wow, this is a great live performance. But there's only so many ways you can say, wow, they really expressed the song a lot. Wow, the musicianship is really great when they do it out of the control of a studio. There's only so many ways you can say that. And like I said, I want to put these videos out to be interesting. Like, for example, I'm going to be doing a review of the band-made online live show that they did. But I won't be picking apart the individual songs. I'm going to be talking more about the context, about what the show was, about how they came across. Talking about the individual songs, none of the songs were really different enough to warrant being talked about in their own right. I'll say some of them were good. Some of them I didn't think were as good as they could have been. I'll be very honest about it. But I'm not going to deep dive into any of the songs because they were just kind of the same songs, but played live. And they were great. But that doesn't make a review, if you know what I mean. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. It's very difficult to explain because I think it's one of those subjects where to really explain why I avoid live reviews most of the time, it's something where you have to explain a lot of small facets, and people tend not to listen. People like an easy to digest answer. So, especially when I did like the what the hell were they called? The Warning on World Tour Wednesdays. everyone's commenting, you should check them out live, you should check them out live. And it's like, how many times can I explain this? I did my best, and some people were really good in replies. And one person actually gave me a really good excuse why they might be worth checking out live, which is because he said, because they're so young, the distance between, in their talent between when they recorded the song and when they, you know, are playing it live now is huge because they've grown exponentially in quality just over age. That's fine. But for a band who maybe have been recording their songs since they were at least like 22, 23 rather than high school age, doesn't quite have the same thing. Like Scandal, this is why Scandal probably are more appropriate for listening to live, because if you're listening to their very first album and then comparing that to a live version, that makes more sense because the age gap's in there. Anyway, I'm behind on the comments, so I should check out on these. What are we saying? Tomomi, my bias. Yeah, everyone's really into the Tomomi thing. I haven't got anything against Tomomi, but I couldn't quite see where the bias for her was coming from. She's got the kind of cool, squeaky voice. But like I say, they all seemed really endearing. I couldn't really pick out one and say, yeah, I like this one more than the rest. Like Haruna, I like her as a front artist, but I don't know if she's got a thing that anything about her necessarily appeals to me massively as a bias factor. Interesting. Mami is my bias. Her guitar is my bias, that's for sure. Power squeak, no bias. Again, you can always flip a coin and decide your bias for you. You have to like flip it twice, you know, split them into two, then into two, yeah? That's not a bias. It's only funny if it's real. I'll give it some more time and maybe one. At the moment, like I say, Rena's slightly ahead, but not enough for it to be funny. Rena has to punch that weight for it to be funny. Definitive is in the eye of the holder, in my honest opinion, says Helamoto. Well, it can be. Look, you can have an objective and a subjective version of definitive. I mean, for example, if the first version you heard of a song was live, if you first heard a band at a concert, that could be definitive for you because it means something to you. There can be a personal definitive. But when we're talking about definitive in this context, we're talking about objectively what the band is putting forward for creative reasons and saying, okay, this is how we wanted the song to sound. And a studio version always has to be held up in that equation because of the fact that obviously that's the version where they had time to say, no, I don't like that, and change it. They had the time to alter it and get everything perfected because that's what studio is. So that comes across as definitive because that's the one where they had every chance to stop that coming out, but they put it out that way. So that's why I say definitive, because I mean that's definitive in the hands of the band. Now they might say, no, we didn't mean that later, but again, that becomes a thing of, you know, creativity is also what you do at the time. If you signed off at that at the point, you might want to change it later, but that was your original definitive version. So yeah, there is a subjective version, but when I'm talking about definitive, I'm talking about objectively because the artist approved that as the you pay, you get record. My opinion. Harry, if I had to no bias, just one member of Scandal, I'd select the Dolphin, but Mami is right behind her, less than 0.5%. What I hear there is more you putting down two other members. Heartbreak. How will they feel? What did you do, Harry? What did you do? Likes, please. More likes. I need the likes. I'm turning into such a YouTube whore, sorry. Sorry, if one is definitive, approved for release in the studio, then a live version approved by the band is also definitive. They get to decide that it's their music, can't have your cake and eat it. No, I'm not having my cake and eating it. What I'm saying is that I think you've totally missed my point, if you don't mind me saying. I think you've totally missed my point. The record, you're going from having no song to this is our song. The song is out. That is the song. You've presented your song. Why does the live version exist? It's a cash-in. And it's a cash-in based on the fact that, and not always, like I say, there can be versions, but it's a cash-in based on the fact that you want people to think about you as a live band because you want people to come to your live shows. Also, it's the mark of respect. If you're very good musicians, which comes across in the live version because you know it's a one-take thing, then you get that mark of... That's not a creative thing. That's a mark of respect. Oh, wow, they really are good on their instruments. None of that, to me, is creatively driven. like I said, I am willing to accept that there are live. This is why I made that example of Santa Monica. There are live versions which actually are creatively driven, but no, it's not a case of having my cake and eating it. It's a case of with their that's what they're doing by releasing the song and having a definitive live version. It doesn't work that way. There's got to be a creative drive behind it rather than a financial drive behind it, and. No, so I don't think that's comparable at all. If I'm honest with you, I don't think that's a comparison at all. But that's the reason why. Hit me back if you disagree. It's a free country, wherever you are, unless you're in North Korea. Fernando, how about a live acoustic version? Now, actually, that's a very interesting point. That can be the case, and the reason why acoustic is slightly different is because you have forcibly gone for different sounds now. You have forced yourself into using different sounds. Now, okay, you could say all acoustic versions are just acoustic versions, and they could just, if it's a rock band, they could just strum the song exactly the same, but do it acoustic. If they just strummed it exactly the same on acoustic, I would regard that as a bit of a cash-in, but that becomes a bit of a grey area, because you could argue that they've chosen to do it acoustic because they believe, if they're not doing all of their songs, they could be doing it because they believe this particular song is a song that should be heard acoustic. It is a reinvention of the song in a way, but that's a bit of a grey area. I am more open to accepting that can yield different results, in my opinion. Comments are coming in so thick and fast, sorry. Do you like live acoustic sessions in concerts? Depends on the context, but usually yes. Because again, this reopens point, because they're almost certainly reinventing a song when they do that. So you're getting to see them live reinventing a song. Even though I know acoustic versions, half the time you want to do an acoustic version, you can just play exactly the same thing, but basically on a different instrument. Still, it is a form of reinvention. Like I say, how well the band does that is a part as well. Thanks, CMC, for dropping the Reddit link. Longest gap between words ever. I used the live weekend to suggest songs which are album-only songs or songs that appear as special arrangements like strings. Yeah, that's always the ones that come back most rewarding, I think. Harry, maybe doing core acoustically is fabulous and very different from the regular version of a song. That's fine. Like I said, I'm not saying that you can't have a good live version. You absolutely can. I'm just saying that 9 times out of 10, when we get that, we just get, look how well we play our song live. I think that's very hard to argue. Maybe they'll throw in a little solo, but it's not a case of, again, that solo will more be in there as look how well we play live than actually because that solo elevates the song in any way. This is my point. Are they actually changing the song to make it better, to make it different? Or are they just going, hey, look how good we are live, which basically means, hey, don't you want to see us live, which basically means buy a ticket. Again, my opinion. Although, one of the bands I think sounds better live than in studio is Incubus. I can believe that, because Incubus's records were really produced, as in, like, compressed. So I can imagine they would have been better live, but I don't have much frame of reference for them, but that's an interesting one. Unless you're in China, says hello. There's a few countries that aren't free, but yeah, I think China, there's some weird stuff going on in China right now. Stay off of TikTok. Unless I am missing something. On Set by Bandmade, the live version is the definitive version. Yeah, but that's because that is a live song. It was born of live. You can have songs born of live where therefore the live version is definitive, and then you'll go into a studio, do it later, and that then becomes an argument. Then I would say actually probably the live version is definitive because they chose not to take it into a studio because then the live version becomes the definitive, because they've only taken it in the studio to then monetize it afterwards. But I'm not talking about songs that were demoed live. I'm talking about songs that were written and played only to be a live thing, and then later it was said, hey, why don't you record this? They're both cash-ins. The objective truth is if the band approve it for release, then it is approved created version to be live. If they approve it, I don't agree. Sorry, I don't agree at all on that. Because you can approve something for a range of different reasons. I'm not saying that a band can't approve it because they genuinely feel that a band can approve a live version as being official because they genuinely feel the song is rewritten to be something new. I do get that, but bands can improve all kinds of things. What I'm saying is that in the studio, you go to the studio to create a recording of your song. That is why you're there. To record it exactly as you want it to be to make your song. When you do it live, you're doing it live. You can go, I like that version of me playing it live, so I'm going to make it a released version. But it's not definitive in my opinion, because it's just them going, I like that version of the song. You could then approve loads of versions of the song, and then there's no definitive. I'm working on the theory that you have to pick something as definitive for there to be a definitive at all. If you have to choose one, go to the studio one. I think that's the point. Basically, if we're saying definitive, definitive has to be one. You can't have multiple definitives. I think that's why I chose to use that word originally. So if it's got to be definitive, it's got to be one, then you go to the studio version. You can have other versions that are approved, but in my opinion, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're worthy of listening. They're worthy of doing... Well, I mean, if you're a fan, obviously you listen to them because you're going to enjoy it, but not worthy of recording a whole separate review around. Like I said, I'm just trying to be completely honest about this. I'm not trying to put anything down. I love live music. I love seeing live concerts. I love all this live stuff. But I'm just being honest about what, for me, constitutes an actual new product. And I think them saying, I like this live version, it'll convince people to come to our live show, so we're going to say this is now an official live video. That doesn't constitute having done anything worthy of being a new product. It's just something new for your fans to listen to. So I am sorry. I mean, unless someone can really bring something new to that conversation, this is something that I've given a lot of thought to over a lot of years, and I don't buy it. That's just my opinion, though. Like I say, no disrespect to anyone else's opinion, just my opinion. Sven, I think the latest Silent Siren DVD sounds too much edited, in my opinion. Silent Siren's live stuff is weird from what I've seen. It goes between, like, you should do more studio work on that. Like, sometimes it just sounds like the engineer's fallen asleep and everything sounds like it's coming through a room mic. And then sometimes it sounds like they've gone way too far and tried to do, like, a CD from the live version. Yeah, their live stuff tends to be really weirdly off balance. It's fun. It's fun to watch them perform. I like their whole live set and everything, but the recordings are really... There seems to be a real mixture of quality. Fourblitz, Gary Spin has done some very good acoustic arrangements. That surprises me. That's not a band I'd expect to hear acoustic from. I should check that out as well. Harry's dropping the Discord link. Yep, if you like your music, remember the Discord. On the last Asian Kung Fu Generation DVD Blu-ray, they played with instruments like acoustic guitars, melodica, harmonica, little xylophone, and a special drum set. Yeah, I mean, sometimes even if you're playing exactly the same, like this is what I was saying about acoustic versions, you can switch out the instrument and play it exactly the same, and at least it's a change of sound, so it makes something interesting. So that's kind of cool, actually. I like that they do that. I remember there was a band, not a very famous band, but a band called Easy World, who are an English band. They were quite interesting, quite creative, actually. They had they're a three-piece band, but they usually brought in lots of extra musicians to make these big, lush arrangements. And they only had 2 albums, but the second album came with a second CD, which was, they basically recorded the entire album twice. One as a band, and the other was just them remixing their own songs, but really sort of as a band, not like, you know, dance remixes, like remixes that were just them reinventing their own songs on other instruments. That was really intriguing, actually. It made for a really wonderful listening experience, hearing how they could see their own songs if they weren't to see themselves as a band. Harry, have you got around to listening to Scandal's Love Survive live to hear the song without the bad producer's touch? No. Well, sorry to... I'm going to have to remember which song we're talking about now. Sorry, my brain fade. This is probably just me. Remind me. Which song? Hello. Kind of like Yannick Sotomut with the song Afterglow, because that song was originally a live-only song, but they re-recorded it as their major debut single. That's interesting, actually. I would like to hear the live version of that as a comparison, although I have now done the studio version. Max, wow, you guys go deep. I don't understand what you guys are talking about. Yeah, I mean, like one of the things I really, because I mean, CMC, for anyone who doesn't know, CMC is basically my partner in crime on this, in that he runs so much of the social media, he keeps things going. But one of the things that we most enjoy is the fact that me and CMC basically don't agree about anything. We're like 90%, we don't agree. So it makes it really interesting because we have like proper conversations about this. And I love that. I think that music is an artistic thing. We should accept that everyone has an opinion that is valid in its own right, so long as they've given it some thought. And it's good to disagree on these things. Now, obviously, I always say one of the reasons I do this, one of the reasons why I can maybe get into this is because I've spent my entire adult life working in the music industry in various different places. Actually, I've taken a bit of a meandering road through it. So, you know, for me, it's something where I perhaps see it in a slightly different way. Doesn't necessarily mean that my opinions are always going to be right, because obviously there's been thousands of people who worked in the music industry, and they wouldn't all necessarily agree with me. But I do feel that when I talk about these sorts of things, I feel like I am coming from a place where I'm using my experience to make the comment. So I feel at least it's a good way to start a conversation, because I think I can back up most of what I say. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily right, though. That's the whole thing. You have to remember when you do these things, is that it's interesting to not always be right. It's interesting to have someone correct you. And it's interesting to go away from a conversation not agreeing, but having listened to someone else's opinion and gone, okay, I don't agree with you, but interesting to see that you see it that way. So I want music to be a debate thing. I want it to be something that people can discuss, that people can enjoy disagreeing about. So much of music is based about what is cool, and you know, it's you know, if you ask people in a sort of general pop context, and so you know, it's like, oh, you like that, so you're not cool, which is such a ridiculous way to approach anything creative. This is why I love the fact that we get people listening to genres of music they wouldn't usually listen to. You know, we got people like CMC. He's, you know, he likes his musicians proper. He likes his musicians pure. He likes that kind of thing. But he'll check out like really produced pop stuff, even if he absolutely 99% of the time hates it. He'll check it out, and he'll give an opinion. That's what makes this channel so interesting for me to do. I love a good debate. So, yeah, we go deep. See, just look how much I extended my answer to your question. CMC, but if a point to be true, then only studio versions, even if the band don't like it, have to release it due to time, budget, etc., is only definitive. The band releases music, therefore approved. Never going to agree. Let me read that again. But for your point to be true, then only studio versions, even if the band don't like it, but have to release it due to time, budget, is only definitive. The band must... okay. That is... I mean, I still don't agree with you, but that is a good point, in that I know sometimes bands will be forced to release versions of songs that maybe they're not 100% happy with. Here's the problem with that. First of all, well, you let it happen. You know, a big part of being creative is taking control of your product. Now, I know that's not necessarily something people are going to agree with, but, you know, you can stop things coming out if you don't believe in them. And I don't believe that then doing it live necessarily means you're now getting your approved version, because a live version is effectively playing it raw. You haven't got the same tools to your disposal, so it might not be 100% what you want. Maybe if a band said, look, I don't like this song, I did. And then years later, they come back and they do it again. And they say, look, I want you to see this as the definitive version. I'm willing to buy that. Any band, anytime, if they wanted to, could go into a studio and record a version of their song. Studios are not that expensive, and most of them can home record now. A version of their song again, and say, well, look, this is our like director's cut version, and could say, this is the way, this is our version of the song, just a little side thing. And then you kind of know they're saying this is what we really want you to listen to. I think that if they've said, okay, we approve this coming out, and they've never readdressed it, they've never done a home version of it, they've never done anything like that. Like I said, I'm not willing to take the live version in that context, unless it's if it's a band who basically all their songs are we just do straight, no production music. that's what we do all the time. Everything's raw live. Fair enough. But then again, I would regard them as probably squandering a lot of. I can kind of see it in that context, but then it becomes way too complicated to really say what's going on. So you then enter this murky water where it's not clear. It's not clear. Is this live version what they really want, or are they just trying to draw your attention away from a production that they weren't happy with? It's not clear that they maybe even have produced a version of the song that they regard as definitive. It just becomes way too difficult for me to then say, okay, yeah, well, okay, this is clearly the way they want the song to sound. It could be that they're in some sort of production hell where they don't like anything that's coming out. I do see your point, and that is probably the best argument for what you're saying, but it doesn't then justify saying, well, this version is definitely the way we wanted that song to be. Maybe it is. I just don't see that as being a clear answer. I see that more as a band who are just desperate to, if they've been treated like that, they're just desperate to get anything out. It doesn't ring to me that they've even got a definitive version then. But yeah, fair enough, fair point. I see what you're saying. Let's just have a look and see what. Sorry, there's a lot of comments coming in. I'm trying to give full replies. It means I'm missing a lot of comments. Point you made about Silent Siren. Which point did I make about Silent Siren? I like Silent Siren. I believe Harry is referring to the studio version of Love Survive having a wee bit of compression on it. I'm really bad at remembering song names. Which one was Love Survive? Oh, yeah, Love Survive was... Yeah, the one where they were both singing together. Oh, my God, that was not... Oh, have I gone away? Can you guys still see me? The preview thing's saying that I'm dead. You can see what I can see. I've got like a dead thing over there. Can you guys see me? I hope you can. Maybe my preview's just dead. Oh, I think it's because the desktop's changing. The desktop was changing. It was bringing back. Hello. Oh wow, that's some proper glitch. Yeah, that was the really weird. Oh god, everything on my computer's lighting up suddenly. What's gone wrong? Oh, the hard drive unplugged, and then there's a problem with the hard drive cable at the moment. So it's, anyway, that song, I couldn't even listen to that song, Love Survive, without. I seriously, if I hadn't been doing that as a review, I would have backed out. So, okay, it seems to have come back. Yeah, sorry, I'm just having a little check. Yeah, it's showing all kinds of glitches on this side, but it says it's transmitting. You can see that. Oh god, everything's going dodgy. So I'll continue my thought in a minute. I'm just trying to get the computer to come back to reality for a moment. Yeah, I think it's just because Google Chrome's a total load of crap. I think that's what's actually going on here. All right. So anyway, Love Survive. So yeah, Love Survive was Love Survive. If I hadn't been doing that as a review, I would have actually stopped it. I don't know. I have to listen to it as a comparison if I can stomach it. But I think it was worse than Dragon Cries for compression. The compression was it was stupid. It was like someone was having a laugh. It was to the point where, I mean, it's hard to explain unless you know how this works, but there was actually like a frequency bleed happening where certain frequencies were like screaming and then slamming down and screaming and slamming down. What's this? Oh god, now I'm getting an error message from YouTube. What's this saying? Okay, it says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Oh, shut up. People are replying still. Stupid YouTube. That was just, I mean, it was unlistenable, and I think that ruined the song. I think it sounded like there were things going on in the song that I would have enjoyed otherwise, so I'd have probably enjoyed that anyway. It's a shame about that. All right, so I'll look at some of the comments that people have been leaving. Live chat's been going for nearly 2 hours, and I'm actually going quite well. Oh, there's a lot of comments. Sorry, I'm going to catch up on these. Sorry. I am missing the Noble scale under every video, says Sven. I'm sure CMC will be on it. Naman, hey, man. How you doing? Hi, man. You said hi, man. I said hi, man. Hey, hi. Naman, hi, man. Hi. How are you? I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking. How are you doing, sir? How are you doing? Hello, Mo. I've started doing through the process of checking out some of the stuff you've reviewed, even if I know I probably won't like it. Yeah, I appreciate that because that's how you find music. You have to find a lot of music you don't like to find music you do like. Actually, I'm just going to pull out that hard drive. I think it's causing chaos. There we go. I'll fix that later. Then please, God, a director's cut version of Dragon Cries without the compression. Yeah, see, I think, can never remember his name, the producer who did that, I imagine that he would not have been happy with that, the mastering job, the compression on that. So if he put out a different version of that, because it's weird to explain how mastering's done, but often mastering is done after everyone's left the studio and the band don't hear the mastered version. This is often the case. They'll be told, your song's done, you get it right, and it's been mastered. Mastered is like a little black magic thing that happens between those processes. So, yeah, if a song was remastered, I would be happy to accept that as a definitive version. Safely removed hardware noise. Is that what you're hearing? Okay, yeah, that's the hard drive glitching. Seemed ever since I removed it, everything seems to be working again. Do bands sell CDs, DVDs these days? Max, there's a fantastic graph you can find. This is applied more for Western CD sales, but it shows that actually it was exactly on the year 2000. Bam! CD sales started dropping. They were going up, 2000 down. Obviously, change of mindset comes in. You know, people psychologically thinking towards new technology more is going to be part of that. That had a big effect on a lot of industries over the change of 2000. But obviously also the change as well. MP3 had started to become a thing in the first few years of the millennium. So obviously there's like nowhere you can buy a CD in most Western countries now that I know of. However, in Japan, buying CDs, still very possible, but it is on the way out here. CDs are mostly if you're really into the band and you want to get like a special edition version with like special artwork or something, or like a pre-order version. As someone who's really into like good quality audio, look, I'm willing to accept a 320 kilobyte per second MP3 to most people on most even very good equipment sounds the same as CD. But CD, if you have got those ultra good speakers, CD is a lot better. But most people can't afford speakers that will show the difference anyway. So CDs are, it's a shame. DVDs pretty much are gone in exchange for Blu-rays, which is a shame because I don't even have a Blu-ray player. I've actually got one of the concerts I did. I've got a copy on Blu-ray. I've never seen it because I don't have a Blu-ray player. I've got a copy of me playing live on Blu-ray. Never seen it. Actually, after the concert, I went to like a big like meal with some of the people. Like some of the people from the band, we had like a big after party thing, and it was playing in the corner, and so I did kind of see it there, but that was kind of it. Let's just see, is anyone getting lag? Yeah, everything seems to be going wrong. Yeah, so it seems that you guys are seeing me now. Or I need to catch up. Hope you enjoyed the Formula 1, says Sven. Like I say, it should have been a classic, but I'm just annoyed that it's the same result we get every week. So I'm watching it going, this looks like classic stuff. I'm not going to give away what happened. Well, I kind of have. But just the way it ended, the drama at the ending. But it's just the fact that all that led to was just the same result we get every week. I was like, Good for Charlie, though. Good old Charlie. Back on the podium, Charlie. Had some lag, but you're doing fine, says Harry. Thanks for that. Fernando, Howard. But artists can change their grow over time. So if years later they put a revised edition of one of their songs, you consider that the definitive version. Yeah, I think that might have come out between what I was saying. Yes, if a band re-records a song, and sometimes they re-record it because they go to a new record label and they want to re-update the license, and they say it's a definitive version. There are a lot of things that can play with this, so it becomes a very big grey area. But if a band has basically said, look, we do it better now, and we're going to go into a studio and we're going to get it right. I think it's hard for me to believe a definitive version can be performed outside of a studio because any of these bands can afford to go back into a studio if they actually want to. Most of them can home studio. And if you really want to put out a version that says exactly how you want a song to be, you are going to do it in the studio. I know everyone's got this romantic thing about live. Like I say, I used to review live shows. I love live shows. But if you really want to do a definitive version, you do it in the studio where you get it exactly the way you want it. You can play it live in the studio. But, you have access to multiple takes. I can't take it on the word of the band that this one take they did live just happened to be recorded perfectly the way they wanted to do it, and it was the best they've ever played it. Every single member. I'm sorry, I can't take it on that word, especially when live is the thing that all bands want to promote for profit's sake these days. I can't buy it. But yes, if they re-record it, I'm willing to buy into that. CMC, trying hard and not to be a troll for the sake of it. So looking to actually comment on something for the sake of music, not be a dick. No, CMC, you're not being a dick. I love the conversation, man. I love the conversation. There's nothing dickish about it. Oh, actually, you're talking to Sven. Oh, okay. Thanks for updating the Reddit as well. Guys, do check out the Reddit if you haven't. That's a good place. I want to see some more threads on the Reddit. I should be posting more on the Reddit. But it's a great place. We should be having more conversation on there as well. Because, on the Discord's wonderful, but some of the conversations can end as they scroll up the screen. On the Reddit, we can keep conversations going about a subject for a whole long time. So, yeah, Reddit is a good place to be, guys. My RIP lagging now, and he's back. Yeah, that was when I was having the issues. Thanks, guys, for letting me know. I appreciate you letting me know if there's lag issues. It's not Wi-Fi. I think it was the Google Chrome basically throws a fit if there's any problems with the rest of the computer, and I had some problems with the external hard drive that I use for a lot of this stuff today. It's been messing around with things. So anyway, but you guys are saying it's working fine now. Feed the computer some bananas. I kind of will approve. She would do. Hashtag no bias. Working fine here. Sad face from Sven. Girlfriend has a cover of Love Survive. Oh, that would be really bad if I ended up preferring the girlfriend version over the Scandal version. And just because of the way they produced it. No, not produced it, mastered it. You know what? I think if someone can give me... Do you know what? I think that would be fair. If there's not a re-recording of Love Survive, maybe... I sometimes do this where I do one band's version against another band, or against the original version of a song. I might do Love Survive live by Scandal against Girlfriend's version of Love Survive as a direct comparison double-header video. Just to give Scandal another chance at redeeming what was done to their song. And I say that because, like I say, mastering is usually done after they've left, so I don't put mastering on the band. Same way that I don't believe Bandmade, although most bands don't really... The way they listen to songs when they usually finish, they listen to them as a group in a circumstance where compression is less obvious, usually on big speakers or something. I don't think Bandmade would have been originally aware of how bad the mastering was even when they heard it. But they would have heard it mastered. I'm 99% certain of this. They would have heard it mastered and told, yeah, this is the definitive, it's done. It's the definitive version, it's done now. Can't do anything about that. This is why mastering is one thing where I'm willing to give a lot of leeway, because artists often don't realise how important that is and are often kept out of it. Max, hey, who would have thought CDs would be an artwork? Not me. Vinyl records maybe, but CDs? Maybe one signed by the band or artist. Yeah, it's a miniaturized version of the same thing, isn't it? Records just bigger. Obviously CD, I know I'm going to upset someone by saying this, but it's just true. CDs are much better quality. They are. Just, I will go to my friend who runs an audio company and I'll bring you all of the data, scientific data you need. CDs are better. But yeah, records are beautiful. You can hang them on your wall. Beautiful artwork. CDs, though, just a smaller version of the same thing. And obviously CDs, they very actively give you, like, especially in Japan, the really thick booklets where there's usually loads of artwork inside. Which I don't think is so common with records. You don't usually get like all of the paperwork inside. CMC, like Audio's new album with their new singer is, well, their old songs were recorded with the new singer and one new song. To be fair, it is over 10 years of music. Yeah, when you change a member, that becomes really interesting. One of the bands who you guys know, if you've been with us for a while, you know, an American band who called Zebrahead. I like to call them Zebrahead just to annoy them. Good friends with the band. I've interviewed them multiple occasions. I have a running joke with the lead singer. Not going to ruin it, just in case anyone else dives in on it. I think actually some of you guys might know what it is already. Actually, I might have already given it away. But they were very famous for their first few years, and they had one singer, and then that singer went away, and they got a new singer who they've now had for the majority of their lifespan, and they've been like a solid cult followed band, but they didn't ever regain that massive fame they had for the first small handful of years with that other singer. So they re-recorded those old songs with the new singer, and I know why they did it. I don't know if they regard that. That's one of the real grey areas, because I don't think that re-recording the songs added anything other than just saying, hey, now you can listen to it with our new singer. I'm sure personally they probably feel more connected to it, but I don't know if they necessarily added anything. So that's a really interesting one. But like I say, there are some real grey areas when we get into the re-recording. But if a band really genuinely says we re-recorded this because we were not happy with the original, then I'm willing to believe them because they've taken the time to go into the studio and do it again. I'm willing to believe them then. But if they just go, hey, this live version's better than our recording, I'm like, hello, I stick almost exclusively to Discord. I hate the communities of other social media outlets. Yeah, I've been although I find Discord as an actual program a bit of a pain in the butt, I really like the way that it's worked, especially for this community. I'm so good. That was I'm pretty sure CMC was the one who suggested that as well as setting it up. I'm pretty sure that was CMC, but you know, like I say, he's behind so much of the good stuff, and that's one of the I'm so happy that's on the channel. That's made, for me, Discord has made the channel. It's made it so much better because it means that the conversation is alive constantly. So yeah, I'm really, you know, I don't know if the channel would have made it this far without the Discord, because it's made it so much more engaging for me being able to talk to you guys and see what you guys are talking about. Even if I'm not always replying, I just log in occasionally, read what you guys are talking about. Gives me an idea for what's interesting and what's new. Fernando, you did a review of both already for Love Survive, I believe. I didn't do the Girlfriend version. Definitely not. I did Girlfriend's covers of a couple of other songs. The Chiari and the Perfume, but not of Scandal. I'm almost certain. God, if I did do that, then that shows my memory is real trash. Girlfriend's version will on the floor stump. Scandal's version, of course. Oh, damn, gloves are going to get off now. Oh, my God. It's fighting talk, my friend. PK, I just recently found out that the new singer of Aldius is also the singer Gemi. She has two different, scroll up, different artist names, who works for Hiroyuki Sawano. Fair enough. I don't really know enough about Sawano to actually comment on that. Max, thanks guys. You guys have been wonderful. Thanks for the music, suggestions, and to everyone. And I will check them out. Thanks, host. Gracias. Okay. Gracias. Check you all next time. Cheers. Yeah, absolutely. And if any time you want to jump on the Discord, please do. You have a lovely evening, Max. Great talking to you. Great having you here. Have a good one. Have a good one. We just had a... Oh, no. We had a desktop... You guys can already see what it did. All right, do not put this on me. Not that I'm going to object. Oh, the mouse is frozen. The mouse isn't working. The mouse doesn't want to admit what happened. Yeah, admit it. So you guys give me a little bit of time to myself now. Pleasing. So, if I'm just not reading any of your comments for the next 10 minutes, don't say a thing. You could be right, Perfume and KPP. Yeah, I definitely did those two, and I'm pretty sure those are the only two from the Girlfriend thing that I did. I wouldn't have done the Scandal one because I wouldn't have heard the song yet at the time, and haven't done any Girlfriend covers since I heard that for Scandal Weekend. So, yeah, I would have had to have done a Girlfriend cover of that in the last couple of weeks, and I know I haven't, so... But got a reason to get around to it. Hello, hello, Motto. I just like when artists re-record songs unless they completely rework the song. It's a complete waste of time for me. Yeah, most of the time it's disappointing. Again, actually, I can use the Santa Monica example because the Everclear changed record labels a couple of times. And they re-recorded that song a couple of times, and it was never as good as the original. It was always, nah. But that live version was awesome. So, you know, like I said, I am open-minded to the fact that that can work. I just think the examples are few and far between. And most of the time, like I say, record company changes are the fuel behind a re-recording. You know, if a band suddenly comes out with a best of, where they're re-recording all their songs, you know they changed record label. Because it's basically them saying, we need to secure all our hits with a freshly copyrighted version. That's what they're saying. Otherwise, they would just put out greatest hits of the songs for their original versions. They want re-recordings to reassert the copyright. Harry, thank you for posting the Discord again. Keep on it, guys. Desktop has... Bias has returned. Telepathic connection, I don't know. PK Sawano is an anime composer who also has a different project where he works together with a lot of different singers. Mostly, is it anime composer? I'd heard the name, but didn't know it was an anime composer. Singers mostly female. Yeah, so sounds interesting. Sounds worth checking out. Okay, guys. Anyway, the number of views is sort of going down, and we're reaching up 2 hours. So I think probably a good time to round things off now. Well, this has been a real pleasure for me, I must admit. It's a stressful last few days. Sorry we didn't do anything on the song today. It was good to meet new people. Max, it was great to have him here. Oh, he's already gone, actually. It was a pleasure to jump back in and do another one of these live streams where we just had a good chat, and it's good to have everyone so conversational today. I think I'll probably stick to doing the live chats on Sundays if you guys don't mind. It just seems to work well with everything. Anyway, just want to say a big thank you to all of you for being here. And we're going to round this one off now. And I will catch you all very, very soon. But until I see you again here in Japan, for now. Wait, here comes the hand. Here comes the hand. Ciao, ciao.